Look at the Torah Tzav, page 34, first column, a little bit past midway. Okay, the Alter Rebbe is discussing the difference between Kriyas Yamsuf and what's going to happen when Moshiach comes. So he says Kriyas Yamsuf primarily is the Gilui of Atzilus in Bria. Your Yud-Beis Shvatim, Yud-Beis channels, because that's the level of Bria. Then you have what's going to happen by Nahar Paros. It's the level of Eden, higher than Atzilus, being revealed in Atzilus, the infinite coming into Atzilus, and that's also going to be La'asid Lavei through the Hachana of Torah Mitzvahs today. That's going to be the Keli for the Gilu of Pnimis HaTorah. Okay, that's what we're up to now. The last thing he said, Misham Yipareid. Yipareid is Peiresh Dali, which is Pshat Remez Rush, which is the level of Atzilus, and that's the level of Kvei de Barasi Vitzartev Afasisiv. Okay. So he says like this, Ach Inya, a little bit past midway. Ach Inyan Tikkun Olam Atzilus, but fixing and rectifying and elevating the world of Atzilus, Hainu Sheyar Be'gili Ernin Tzal Baruch Me'Pnimius Atik. What should be revealed? Pnimius Atik. This Rebbe speaks a lot about in Kuntus and Yon Shoter Sechsidus. But when he speaks about the Gili, what will happen when Mashiach comes. So now the primary idea is Chitzonius, the way Atzilus is revealing in itself in Biyah. But here we're talking about the Gili of Pnimius Atik. What reveals Pnimius Atik, the inner core of the essence? Haidei Pnimius HaTorah, which is called Seid Hashem L'Reyav. Baltik, and concerning this level of elevating Atzilus, it says, V'hein if Yodei Lanor. The Mashiach is going to wave his hand on the Nahar, which means pras. Shevachin is now Yetzim Misham Yipari, which is marked the Biavatikunim. That's the way Aliyah elevate Bria Tzir and Atzir, which is the level of Pirud, Yesh, is to reveal Atzilus into it, that they become the same level of Atzilus, i.e. they become completely bottom. How do you elevate Atzilus if Atzilus is already a world of Bittul? Is a level higher than Nahar, Me'ever an Nahar. That he will separate, hit it into 7 channels, like it says, the Nachal Adonecha Sashkin. The Nachal Adonecha is Eden, will be giving them to drink, which is Gilu Bechinas Hanor, Bechinas Eden Atzmi. It's not going to be the level of Nor Yotzim Eden. The Gilu when Mashiach comes is going to be Pnimius Atik, which is the level of Eden itself, which normally it says Ayin Le'ro'as Elokim D'Losecha. And normally this level is never revealed. Mashiach is going to reveal that particular level. V'hainu Ki Hanor Zeh Machshava. Like he said before, the Alter Rebbe explained, Yam is Malchus. Nahar, though, because Yam, ocean is, all the rivers go into the ocean. So the ocean is the gathering of all waters. So like it says at the beginning of Chumash, Ule mikveh hamayim, to the gathering of waters, he called Yamim. So Yam is the level of gathering which is Malchus, which absorbs everything from above. Nahar, though, constantly flows. It's flowing. Like the Alter Rebbe said before, that's the level of Machshava, because Machshava constantly goes. You can't stop thinking. The level of Machshava, Dibur, Maisa, Kabbalah, Chassidus explains, Machshava is Bria, Dibur is Yitzira, and Maisa is Asiyah. There's a level of thought, speech, and action even in the world of Atzilus. In other words, even though generally speaking, Machshava Dibur Amaisa is Bria, Yitzir, and Asiyah, but there's still a level of Machshava Dibur Amaisa in the world of Atzilus, which is called Biyad Atzilus. Why? Because even in Atzilus you have the 4 levels. You have Chachma Bina, Zah, and Malchus. Right? So even these 4 worlds exist in Atzilus itself. You have a level of Atzilus, Shabbatzilus, and Bria Shabbatzilus, and Yitzir Shabbatzilus, and so on. V'yesh a bechinas, and then there's even another level. Ma'od amkum Shvii sechel. Hainu machshava dibur amaisa shlemayla mehasechel. So he says like this: machshava dibur amaisa is primarily b'riyah tzir nasiyah. Then you have machshava dibur amaisa in atzilus. Then you have what it says ma'od amkum Shvii sechel. The machshava is very, very deep. Ma'od means b'li gvul. That's even higher than atzilus. That's the level which is Behenif Yadai al Hanahar, who wave his hand on the Nahar. That means he's higher than the Nahar and he's waving his hand on the Nahar, al Hanahar. That's the level Bayam Ruchai, which is the might of the power of his spirit. The father shall be Maamar Azal. What the Medrash says on the pasuk, V'ruch alakim rachefes apnei amayim, zeruch shel melech HaMashiach. Like it says, V'nacha olav ruach havayeh, that HaMashiach will be the spirit of Havayeh. It says about Moshiach, V'nacha olav ruach Hashem. The pasuk again, we read in Naftar, the last day of Pesach, from Yeshaya. The Nevuah all about Mashiach. So it says over there, when it says in the Torah, the Medrash says, Ruach Elokim merachefes hapnei hamayim. The spirit of Hashem hovered over the water. So the Medrash said, what spirit of Hashem is that? The spirit that it says, V'nacha olav Ruach Hashem, that HaMashiach is going to rest, the Ruach Hashem. So it says, the Balatur brings it down, he says even the Gematria equals the same thing. But the Medrash says, V'ruach alakim merachefes hapnei hamayim, that's the concept of Mashiach. So the Rabbi explains in the Sikha, L'chaira, why is it relevant at the beginning of creation, before Hashem even created anything, it says, V'ruach alakim merachefes hapnei hamayim. The Spirit of Hashem hovered over the world isn't even created yet. Why are you talking about that? So the Rebbe explains, because before you build a building, before you even draw the plans, you have to have in mind what's the purpose of the building I'm building. A business, living, or whatever it is. Then you could start planning how to build the building. But first you need to know what is the purpose of the building. That's what Chassidus explains. Why is it before the world was even created? Before the world was even created, Hashem is saying, what is the purpose of the world? To have the Ruach Shel Mashiach for the coming of Mashiach. The same thing the Rebbe explains in the Sikha, Vayem Elokim Yehi Or Vayehi Or. What did Hashem create on the first day? Or, light. Now normally light is only beneficial if there's somebody to use it. If there's nobody around, what do you need light for? Right? When you leave, you close the lights. I mean, you turn them off. In yeshiva, you close them. In English, you turn them off. Because what do you need light for if there's nobody there? So the question is, nobody was in the world yet. Nothing was created. On the first day of creation, the first thing Hashem says, so again, Chassidus explains, Hashem, before he even begins the creation of all the things, Hashem says, what is the purpose of creation? Yehi Or. It should be a Gilu of Elokus. Ruach Shel Mashiach. So he says, Hine, b'Moshe nema min hamayim mishisiu. By Moshe Rabbeinu, it says, Bas Parish is interesting, she had such a schus. Why did she call him Moshe? Min hamayim mishisiu. Because she drew him out of the water. I think it's Daskim Maltese asked a question, she didn't speak Hebrew, she said Egyptian. So how did I get to Moshe min hamayim mishisiu? So he explains, she called him Taka a name in Egyptian that in Hebrew means Moshe. That's what he says. Other Mefarshim say she spoke Hebrew. I mean, Okay. But by Moshe it says, Min hamayim mishisihu. In other words, where did Moshe Rabbeinu come from? Min hamayim, which Chassidus explains, like we learned before, is Alma Diskasya. Moshe Rabbeinu came from the highest of worlds. Came from the level of Alma Diskasya. From Bechinas Mayim al Yenim Mamish, which is the Mami al Yenim, the level of the hidden worlds up there, which is Amshach Satera Niglas Lanu, which the Alter Rebbe and Tanya explains, The Gemara says Torah is like into water. Now the Rebbe says why? Just like water goes from a high place to a low place. Torah comes from the highest levels of Elokus. It comes all the way down here. But the Rebbe explains what's the Moshe. The Rebbe adds to that in Tanya. The Rebbe says, what does it mean that water goes? It's not stam water goes high place to low place. The same water that's up there comes down here. So in other words, in the mashal of Torah, the Torah that's up there comes down here and doesn't change. That's why Torah, the Gemara says, can never become tamei. The Gemara says, Divrei Torah is not mekabel tumah. The Gemara learns out from a pasuk. It says, "B'minei eish das lamei." From Hashem's right hand comes a fiery law. The end of Nzeis Bracha. So it says, "Ma eish ein mekabel tumah." Just like fire cannot become tamei, Torah cannot become tamei. So it explains Torah can never be down here. You could touch Torah if you're tamei, nothing happens. You could learn Torah when you're tamei, it doesn't matter. But in neshama, when it comes into the guf, it says nefesh kisachta. The nefesh could sin. Because the nefesh down here is not the neshama that's up there. Because the neshama that comes down here is nefesh ruach and neshama.
By the way, it's not the same water down here.
It does.
The water up there has the potential to come down. It has the force.
And the water here can go even lower. And the water down here can go even lower. So what's your problem? You go from a higher place to a lower place. That's all Moshe Rabbeinu, which was the gilui of Nigla the Torah. That's the level of Ruach Elokim and Achefes. Al Pnei Hamoyim. Moshe Rabbeinu came from the Mayim. Ruach Elokim and Achefes Al Pnei Hamoyim. It's even higher than Mayim. Which means Lamayim Bechinas Mayim. Higher than the level of, even higher than Alma Diskasia, even higher than the hidden worlds. And that's what the pasuk says. Behein if Yadei Anohad Shebechinas Mayim Bayam Ruchi, from the power of his spirit. Mashalamayim Bechinas Hamayim, which is even higher than the level of Torah. By days and through this, he come through this gilui of Behein if Yadei Anohad. And then he split it into 7. Why? Where does that level come from? Not from Torah mitzvahs. It comes from the level of tshuva, which is also what the pasuk says. Ruach tashuv el Elokim asher nasoni. The ruach, this ruach Elokim, that's why Moshe Rabbeinu is the level of Torah. Zichur Teres Moshe Avdi. Moshe Rabbeinu is the level of Mayim, Yam. Moshe Rabbeinu is the Gilui of Torah. But Moshiach is the level of Tshuva. The Rambam says, Yisrael leis in Tshuva, or miyad hei nigolin. As soon as the Yidden do Tshuva, immediately Mashiach comes. Right? But not only that, what's Mashiach's goal, the Zohar says? La sava tzadikaya b'tiyufta. To get tzadikim to do tshuva. The Misnagdim had a big problem with that. It wasn't the Alter Rebbe, it's the Zohar. But when they debated the Alter Rebbe, after the Alter Rebbe got out of prison, the Misnagdim wanted to debate the Alter Rebbe, and the Alter Rebbe agreed to it. So they asked him, one of the questions they asked him is, how could it be that the Zohar says, Primus Torah says, the Mashiach la savet tzadikim b'tiyufta tzadikim are going to do tshuva? That means basically saying tzadikim sin, i.e. we sin, and we have to do tshuva. Are you degrading the tzadikim? The Torah, the Torah. So the Baal Shem, the Alter Rebbe explained to them that tshuva is not for sins. Tshuva is a level of ruach toshev alakim, this ruach alakim rachefes apnei hamayim. That came down here, all the way down. The level of tshuva is the gilui higher than Torah mitzvahs. Tshuva accomplishes more than Torah. You sinned, You went against Torah, comes tshuva and rectifies it. How can tshuva rectify what you did already? Not only that, Torah mitzvahs are bound to time. Torah mitzvahs have to be in it. You can't put on tefillin and at night on Shabbos. You have to do it during the day. You have to eat in the sukkah on Sukkot, not on Pesach. Even though the Gemara asks, you should have to. Okay, but bottom line is, Torah mitzvahs is man and mokim. Tshuva, I do tshuva today, undoes what I did a year ago, a day ago. It's gone. It's in the history books. It's over. How could today's tshuva help me for what I did a year ago? The answer is because tshuva is above time and place. That's the gilui of Moshiach. The gilui of Moshiach is this gilui of Elokus, of Pnimius Atik, that's even infinitely higher than Atzilus. And that gilui is going to be the unity between Atzilus and Pnimius Atik. Now, Torah mitzvahs is the unity between Bia and Atzilus. Mashiach's gilui is going to be the gilui of Atzilus being one with Pnimius Atik. And therefore, like he said, what is the gilui of Mashiach? Not 12, which represents the 12 Shvatim, which is the world of Bria. 7 is the Avos and Imoris, which is the world of Atzilus. That is going to have a gilui of Nahar, which is even higher. And that's what the Rabbi writes in Kontidion Shatarach about the gilui of Mashiach. It's a gilui of Pnimius Atik.
It's not gilui Etzem?
That is a gilui Etzem, relatively speaking, yeah.
Or can you not reveal Etzem?
Hashem is so not limited that even though Etzem can be revealed, he could reveal it.
So Etzem and Pnimius Atik are the same?
I mean, as far as this is concerned, yeah. Okay. So he says, so this is the connection why Pnimius HaTorah is connected to Mashiach, and that's why it's going to be Al HaNahar, because it comes from a level higher than Nahar, which is the level of Eden, because Nahar Yetzim Eden. So Eden is higher than Nahar. Right? The river comes out of Eden. So Eden is the level of the ultimate Tainug. Yeah, and that's the... So now the Alter Rebbe is going to add what's the union of 7.
Rabbi, we're not talking about Moshe splitting. We're talking about Yaakov split into 7. The Nahar.
Mashiach.
Moshiach. Didn't Yaakov split the river? It wasn't Moshe split the river.
No, Mashiach split Moshe Rabbeinu split the Yam.
Right.
But Mashiach, the whole man, V'heinef Yod El HaNahar. Mashiach is going to split the Nahar Pros. Yaakov Avinu, ki b'makli avarta seyardin hazeh, Rashi calls two meanings, that Yaakov went to, when he went to Yarden, he split it and it opened for him, but he didn't go into 7, 12. This is speaking, Moshe Rabbeinu divided into 12, Mashiach is going to divide it into 7, there's the gilui of Atzilus and Bia versus Pnimius Atik and Atzilus.
Well, before we learned that the Eden is a ziv, like a ziv shpina.
Right.
Now we're learning that it's ultimate.
Yeah.
There's Gan Eden and there's Eden.
Yes.
So the beginning of creation, there was Eden, and then the Nahar came out of Eden, Lahashkis of a Gan. What the Alter Rebbe explained before, it means the 53 Parshas of Torah.
So we're talking about two different things?
Initially, the Medrash says there was Eden and there was Gan. The pasuk clearly says, Nahar went out of Eden to water the garden. Okay. Now, after Chetei Tadas, that level became Gan Eden, whatever, and it's only a ziv. But that's why the higher Gan Eden, by the way, when, not in the Chassidish world, but in the non-Chassidish world, the whole thing is about going to Gan Eden. Not the other place. They're going to Hawaii. They want to go to Gan Eden. The higher Gan Eden is in Bria. The lower Gan Eden is Yitzira. Torah and mitzvahs connects you to the essence. Yeah? So therefore, by Chassidim, you don't hear, I'm going to go to Gan Eden, I'm going to go to Gehenna. That's not in their vocabulary. Because Torah and mitzvahs doesn't take me to Gan Eden. Torah and mitzvahs now connects me to the essence. What a Gan Eden then come? I need Bria if I can get to this essence.
What does it mean, Canada is Yetzirah? It's formed there? It's formed?
Spiritual form.
Here we go again. What's the difference between Atzilus and Bria? The amount of Elokus revealed.
Yes.
What's the difference between Bria and Yetzirah? The amount of Elokus revealed. Now, Gan Eden is a ray of the Shekhinah.
Yes.
You can have a ray of the Shekhinah the way it is in Bria, and you can have the ray of the Shekhinah the way it is in Yetzirah. Now, which is a greater ray? Bria. So if you're in the world of Bria, you have a higher ray than you have if you're in Yetzirah. Now, the Gilui of Gan Eden is the Gilui of Bria. The lower level of Gan Eden is a level of Yetzirah. What's...
When we say Yetzirah, it's formed there. It's formed.
No. Form of a ray. There's Chomer and there's Tzura. The Rambam speaks about it in all the Yiddish Chakira speaks about. There's Chomer and there's Tzura. Chomer means the material. Tzura is the form of the material. I.e., you have a piece of silver. Piece of silver. That's the Chomer. Now you make a Kiddush cup out of it, you make a becher out of it, now you form the silver. Correct? Which is more limited? The becher or the piece of gold, silver? Because it has a form already. So it's less because from the material of silver you can make anything. Now it's already made into a becher, it's more defined. So it's more restricted, it's more limited. It is what it is. Correct? Unless if you melt it, then you go back to the chomer material, then you can do again what you want. So, one is gilui of chomer, one is gilui of tzura. Now tzura is lower than chomer. So Yetzirah is Bria's chomer, it's creation, it's material. Now it becomes formed. That's a lower level. So Yetzirah has less elokus than Bria does.
Rabbi, Eden is Atik.
Pnimi is Atik.